WNTN Radio. Welcome back to my show. This is your host, Viviana Dragani, and today my guest is author Laurence Haynes. Welcome to Itali-Echo.
Thank you very much, Viviana. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. So, first of all, what inspired you to start writing and when did you start?
I started writing about 6 years ago. Uh, After my daughters had grown and left, and I found myself with a lot of spare time. I'd always been interested in drawing since I was a child. I did want to, pursue this when my daughters were younger, but we just never had the time. And about 6 years ago, I was inspired to begin illustrating again, and the idea to uh, come up with the idea for children's books uh, really resonated with me at the time, and that's when I started.
Great. And do any of the books you write come from your own childhood?
More so, from raising my wife and I, raising our daughters. We have three daughters. From the people that we've met in adulthood. I mean, I had a great childhood. My parents were wonderful. I have a huge family that were always an influence. But just the things that have happened in my later years have really inspired the work that I've done.
Okay. And what advice would you give a new writer, someone who is starting out?
I would advise anyone to write what's in their heart and in their minds, to write what they know about, um, and to just keep pursuing it, because it's not an easy profession to break into. There is so much competition. There are so many writers and so many books out there. But perseverance is the what you need to have, and a love, of course, for what you do. And for me, the illustrating was always a love. Uh, but now my writing the stories to go with those illustrations really touches my heart.
Absolutely. And what time of the day do you usually write?
Usually on the weekends, during maybe a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. The illustrating I do generally during that time also, but whenever I can get together, 15 to 20 minutes, I'll work on a drawing, because I still do work I work part full time at my career as a land surveyor. So writing and illustrating the books is something that I do have to fit in, but I definitely make the time to do it.
Thank you. And what was the inspiration for the Christmas Time Travelers 2?
I've always been interested in time travel. So the first book that I did write was The Christmas Time Travelers 1, which was about the three dogs that my wife and I had at the time. And this idea that to be able to go back in time to especially a historical event like the birth of Jesus, and to witness that, and then to decide when you came back what to do with that information. And I carried that through in the Christmas Time Travelers 2, where instead of the dogs traveling back in time, the inventor of the time machine goes back in time to try and revisit what they experienced in the Christmas Time Travelers 1. So again, it's about faith. It's about love, and it's just about an unconditional love, and a faith that is strong, and a faith that you have from not necessarily witnessing something, but it's an unseen faith.
And what is the significance of the title?
Christmas Time Travelers?
Mm-hmm.
Just a reference to the fact that they're going back in time, and that the events take place at Christmas time, around, of course, the first Christmas. So I just sort of combined the two, so that people can look at the title and say, well, we have a book about Christmas and we have a book about time travel. So let's see what it's about.
And when can we find your books?
My books can be found all on Amazon. They can be found on my website, which is lmhaynesbooks.com. And they can also be found on renaissancepublishing.com. They're all,
Okay.
and I do have 7 published books right now. I'm working on the 8th one, and all 7 of them are available. The Christmas Time Travelers 2 won Best Book for 2021 through Pacific Book Review. And one of the other titles, Legacies, won Best Children's Books or was a runner-up for Best Children's Books for illustrations at Pacific Book Review. The books have all been well received and well reviewed, and I'm very happy and very proud to have been able to do this with this part of my life.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, thank you, Viviana. It's my pleasure. Stay well, and I hope to speak with you again sometime.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.